Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we will be focusing on the progress and the development that were witnessed in Egypt in the past 7 or 8 years under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, ever since taking office in 2014, and more specifically in the fields of the infrastructure in general, building new cities, constructing new roads and bridges, as we did see in the past years, and we will be seeing more and more of that in the upcoming few years as well. And to be tracking this development and the progress in general in the infrastructure and the roads and the bridges and building new cities and renovating old Cairo, or the old neighborhoods of Cairo to be specific, I'm honored to be having with me on the daily debate for tonight Mr. Khalid Abu Haib, the head of the International Cooperation Commission at the National Council for Strategic Planning. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Pleasure being with you. Thank you.
Pleasure is all mine. We will be starting straight away with a report about the latest developments in the field of roads and bridges, building new roads and thousands of kilometers of roads and bridges to be linking the new cities that we have here in Egypt with the new capital.
Egypt's infrastructure investment soared by 2.3 billion Egyptian pounds over the past 7 years, marking an increase of 340% since the fiscal year 2015-2016. Minister of Planning Hala Said indicated that infrastructure is a key enabler for development, adding that Egypt has increased its investments in roads and bridges by more than 90% over the past 3 years to reach $1.79 billion in 2020 from $0.89 billion in 2018. She explained that the sector is expected to grow during 2020-2024, as this growth will be primarily driven by active partnerships between the public and the private sectors and the expansion of green buildings to increase energy efficiency and advance infrastructure. The minister also touched on the National Roads Project that was launched in 2015, which aims to construct 7,000 kilometers of new roads in 6 years, with a budget of $11 billion, as well as implementing complementary works to enhance the existing road network by providing the required maintenance for 5,000 kilometers of current roads. She added that residential projects alone contributed to securing 800,000 job opportunities for young people. Besides, the most major projects are fortunate in being in sectors relatively less affected by the pandemic, with 32% in housing and 27% in transportation, compared to only 3% in the tourism sector, which is a highly affected sector by the pandemic. On the modern railway and transport network, Said explained that the Egyptian government is working to improve the current railway network by adding more trains and renewing old buses, noting that the 2 giant railway projects are underway, which will significantly reduce commuting time and help reduce the carbon footprint in Egypt. Said indicated that the Egyptian government is seeking to support the manufacturing infrastructure through industrial complexes and cities, which will increase productivity and efficiency. She explained that during the past 6 years, 17 industrial complexes were established in 15 governorates nationwide to provide 43,000 new direct jobs for young people, adding that during the past 2 years, Egypt established 3 industrial cities. Moreover, the minister talked about the Hayya Karima initiative, stressing that the Egyptian government aims to achieve a regional balance in infrastructure development at a total cost of more than 700 billion Egyptian pounds over 3 years to develop Egyptian villages through the development of infrastructure projects in various fields with a focus on education, health, sanitation, and explaining that the initiative targets for
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate. Mr. Khalid Abu Haib, as we did see the statements made by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in this year, in 2021, and he said that this is a promise in different fields of infrastructure, but more specifically to be focusing on building new roads, bridges, transportation, bringing in wagons and trains from Spain, from France. All of this system, the new system that we have here in Egypt for the transportation, how do you see it, and how do you see this compared to the promises of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi made in the past 7 years and in 2021?
First of all, thank you for having me here.
Anytime.
It's been a pleasure. Definitely, it's a very important topic we're talking about today. But if you allow me, I would like to start with saying that over the years, we heard a lot of officials talking, giving statements, and giving promises, and nothing on reality was done. Here the story is completely the opposite. We had the official, they didn't talk in the beginning. They were just working. We were finding, if you were living in Heliopolis, you're waking up in the morning, you find a completely new road, completely new bridges, or you are in the suburbs, completely new highways. What's going on? Then they started to talk. We're gonna do this on that day. This is gonna be finished. And it was finished.
A plan.
Yes, definitely. It was a plan.
Yes.
There is a strategic plan which was for Egypt for the whole 5 years, but the parts how it was executed, this is what I'm trying to highlight here. The way things were executed and how the management are managing the situation. They are not talking a lot. That is seeing is believing. People now stopped even asking what's going on, because they start to have trust on what's going on. Oh, definitely they're doing something good.
And this leads to our benefit as citizens.
Let them finish it. Before, a few years ago, when there is any construction or in any of the roads, people were complaining. You'll find them on the social media, they'll find them even demonstrating. Now, people find the roads are closed. Oh, okay. Which way you want me to go? This way. So, what is this?
Cooperate.
Cooperating. Why?
Yes.
Why? The question is why the people
We see
are
the
cooperating.
benefits.
Yes,
We saw
they
the
start
results.
to see the results, and things are start to be reality, and they can feel it. And the wave, the destructive wave, which was used by the deep state, which think it's only in the big, it's only in Tagamma, it's only in Big Cairo, it's only he's building it for the only rich. Oh no. Now,
The rumors on social
yes,
media.
now you can go from Alexandria to Port Said in less than 2 hours by the international highway. You can go to Dumyata in less than 2 hours. You can go from here to Banha, 45 minutes. You can go from here to Dab'a, which was a few years ago in the middle of nowhere, in 2.5 hours. This was not done for the rich people. No, it was done for the Egyptians. So people start to see, okay, finally, you can start to feel that the Egyptians, the normal Egyptian person is start to interact and ask positive questions. Oh, where is this leading us to? What they trying to do? Oh, this could be definitely for a better future. So the trust is sinking in in every Egyptian mind that what's coming is definitely much better than where we are. That is the psychology of this society, which is you start to feel it right now. People are positively getting out, want to work, want to invest, and don't forget that we passed through the pandemic not with loans, not with international help. It was all from within.
And the economy is growing.
From within. It is very, very important. It is from within. They didn't stop working, and it is from within they are growing. So definitely this is the most important outcome. So when the president came out and said, Kamel al-Wazir, oh, he's my favorite character, Kamel al-Wazir. And in all my shows, I always say, if we can clone Kamel al-Wazir, we're going to be very successful. But when you tell him by December 21, which is in a couple of weeks, the end of all carriages, the end of old locomotives, and all is new. This was not done for the rich people. This is done for the normal person who's gonna go to the train. There is no third-class train in Europe. It's only here in Egypt. Okay, it is gonna be air-conditioned, so you can take it from here to Aswan, from here to Matruh, from here to wherever you wanna go. And with the new railroads, which is coming, like the one from El Sukhna to El Alamein, first stage. All this on the Egyptian map, if you can take it, how many kilometers to be done in 2 years? This is almost like building another pyramid. What's happening on the land, by all means, is history being written. And if you excuse me to use the terminology, definitely it's a beginning of the new republic. It's another glorious thing the Egyptians should be proud of, like the same thing about the war of the 6th October. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Crossing the canal and crossing our field, we're crossing how we were destroyed and rebuilt all the inside in all of these years. It's outstanding.
If we can highlight the major numbers that we did see being invested, the sums of money that were invested in infrastructure and the roads and the bridges, about 2.3 billion pounds were invested in infrastructure in the past 7 years.
It is only in the roads in the coming 2 years. As the president just said, 360 billion Egyptian pounds in 2 years. It's going to be in the railroads. Okay, that number is I cannot
that is at least 350% an increase of what happened in 2015-16.
In one project. We're talking about the whole one project. We're not talking about the whole economy of the country. It is only in one project, as you said. Sukhna El Alamein is we're going to invest 360 billion Egyptian pounds. Wow. Okay, so if we want to take it a bit further about the logistics and what's going on here on Egypt, if we can just imagine the Africa map and where is Egypt located with the world, with the Suez Canal, and this is going to be the biggest logistic hub in the Middle East, really connecting Asia with Africa. And it is really becoming and truly becoming, Egypt is going to become the real door and the real gate to Africa. Goods can come to the Suez Canal to be stored, remanufactured, transported on the railroad network, transported on the roads. If you see the map of all the roads which is coming, it's going in circles, a bigger one, and it's going to cover all Egypt. All points of Egypt. What is left is just connecting it across Egypt. From Libya now we have 2 highways, one from the north and one from Siwa going to Gharbub. Another one from El Uwaynat can go directly to Chad and middle of Africa, Central Africa, following the Darb al-Arba'in road, which is the 49th trail. This is since the age of the pharaohs. So it is just these connections to be done, and here we go. Any African country want to nourish or want to export its goods, it's better to go through the Egypt first. It's going to be remanufactured, then exported. It is the same thing which happened during the Fatimi era and during Muhammad Ali for building the new Egypt. Now it is completely new era. We are seeing and living in it.
Yes, in the past break, as you mentioned, we did see President Al-Sisi speaking about billions of pounds being spent in infrastructure, in roads and bridges, in building new cities, in connecting those new cities and constructing thousands of kilometers of roads and transportation. All of this is happening at the same time. How do you see the importance of investing and investing those big amounts of money, huge amounts of money, in this field of infrastructure. Is it useful for the Egyptians?
Definitely. Definitely, it is useful for the Egyptians, and without it,
Yes.
we were almost getting bankrupt. Right now, if you again going back to imagine the Egyptian map, and we see all of this infrastructure going on with the road, bridges, railroads, ports, redesigned ports, new ports. They're going to be 2 extra ports between Alexandria and Marsa Matruh. 2 new ports are being done right now. So we're going to have Port Said, we're going to have Damietta, we're going to have Alexandria and Khela, 2 more new ports, and Marsa Matruh. All of this North Africa. Plus the ones on the Red Sea. We have Sukhna, we have Suez, then we have Safaga, and we have the Hurghada. Then the last one, which is in, remember, it's in Ras Benas, down there. All of this happening with the ports, with the roads. Most importantly, and in the future, definitely we're going to debate about it a lot, and it's going to be the talk of the Egyptians. The normal Egyptians is what's happening in the villages of Egypt.
Yes.
In Egypt, we have 4,500 villages. When we have a big project, mega project, we can say, oh, we have a big project in Cairo. We have a big project in Alexandria.
In the big cities.
Yes, but we don't have 4,500 projects coming at once. This is mega development. This is not an easy thing at all. We can build a new city, but right now we are refurbishing, taking everything old, putting everything new. When you go in a desert, you have the luxury of planning roads. Here the road, here is this, I'm gonna put the pipes here, the phone lines, the fiber optics here, blah, blah, blah. But working in villages, some of them are 7,000 years old, going through them and trying to remodernize them and bring them to the 21st century with sanitation, desalination, and with decent housing, and with electricity, new cables. And most importantly in all of this is the network. Which is the new, everything happening regarding the network is through fiber optics. And it is all ready for the 5G. Nothing old. It is the state of the art of the network, which is going to be done over there. It is almost like about 50 to 60 million Egyptian pounds per village is going to be dumped in this coming 24. They started already in this 24 months. You know what this meaning? That all of these roads and all of these things happening, that 4,500 cities coming all together. So number one, it's gonna solve a very big dilemma. We didn't solve it in the past 60 years, which is the modernization of the villages. Why people leave their villages and come to the big cities, then making all of this dilemma about the
congestion and traffic.
Why? Because they don't have health care, because they don't have clean water, because they don't have sanitations, because they don't have phones. Guess what? You have a fiber optics. You have the data over there. And I think there was a project before 4,000 network stations were done already by the Ministry of Telecommunications in all the 4,000. So you have healthcare, you have social life, you have water, you have new roads, you have network of all roads. You can go anywhere. Why you leave it and go to a big city? Why do you migrate?
They don't have to leave.
So we're gonna have back migration again. I'm from Upper Egypt, I'm gonna go back to my village where I have my thing, I'm gonna do it over there.
Or at least the balanced population.
Yes.
Someone can start a life, can start a family.
Could you imagine the magnitude of what's going on right now? Now, Let's talk right now. We're building new cities. Everybody know that's not hiding. We're building bridges, we're building roads, we're building everything. Okay. Right now, we were complaining about unemployment of the workers, handyman. Okay. Now we're getting shortage. Why? Because 4,500 towns, villages are being completely renovated. It's very shortage now, right now. Okay, people now, they're not gonna go, they're not gonna travel out because work is open here. Then also during December, which is in a couple of days coming, and God willing, after the Libyan elections, the first 3.5 million trained Egyptians is going to be going over there for the reconstruction of Libya. Okay, now why you go to Libya or why you go anywhere if you have the project here in your same village to be done? So unemployment is going to go to the bottom. Right now there's shortage. And plus with this new technologies coming in, especially the fiber optics, the NTRA and its institutes are making programs, 40 hours or 80 hours, condensed crash courses, so the technician can learn what is fiber optics, how they can weld it, how they can do it, and they're getting out. When they get out, they find jobs immediately because there is no more copper cables. There is no more the old style. Everything is ready for the 5G. These things, the normal Egyptians who riding a bus don't see it. But he will figure it out when he wants to talk to somebody in his village and he's talking to him and it's not like, oh, what are you doing in Cairo? It's so congested, come and live here back. This is all what we want. So by all means, it's a completely new era. It's definitely a new republic. And the President Sisi, when he's saying the numbers, I want to tell you that he's not even saying the whole picture. So people cannot say, oh, he's exaggerating, but he's saying less than what's out there by far.
Yes, still with the numbers and statistics, the Minister of Planning, Dr. Hala Said, mentioned that in the past 3 years, about 90% of the money that was spent by the government in the infrastructure and the development of the infrastructure was spent in building new roads and networks and bridges. So about $1.8 billion, that represents about 90% of the money spent. How do you see this amount of money, $1.8 billion in the past 3 years, in the field of roads and bridges? Why is it so important in your opinion?
There is no development. There is no economic growth without goods being moving. And if we spend 1.8 billion US dollars in this, it is very well spent and it's in the right place. And right now, when you can take your goods from, we have this, I'm going to take an example of that, like the Suez Canal. We can say now that we have the highest volume of boats going on. But right now, in the Sokhna port for the containers can be, the boats coming from Asia can get over there, reload the containers on trains or on trucks, then take them to Alexandria, to Damietta, to Matruh, to anywhere, to the next port, and being shipped from there to Europe. So actually, you're not only having one Suez Canal 1, then one to Damietta, then each highway which we're talking about is another Suez Canal with its income. We don't say just trucks going. No, this is money moving and big money. So it is adding definitely way much multiple, quadruple this amount of money. It is money very well spent in its place. So just to answer that small point, I'm giving you that tiny mini example, just not only one Suez Canal. Each highway from this is a completely new Suez Canal to us.
Yes, in Egypt we have the National Road Strategy of 2024. How do you see the progress of this strategy and the importance of having a strategy for building new cities? We have the old cities and the process of linking them together?
There is definitely, with all of this buildings, like which used to happen in the past, we building cities, and we on the old highway network getting congested with just moving people in some places, somewhere in the desert, and getting congested. People don't want to move. I'm not going over there. But now, all of this is being eliminated. You go to 10th of Ramadan, you go to Al Ubur. Right now, Al Ubur, the price of the buildings are being doubled and tripled because of its location. Suddenly, it is
Between different governorates.
Governorates, and between the new capitals, and between Al Mihwar, and between this and that. Wow, out of nowhere, it becoming Ubur going prices up, even the new capital is being up. The Mustaqbal city is in a great place to be. All of this is getting the people out of the Nile Valley to these new cities. So to link these cities and with the highways and all this logistic means, it is the only way to these areas to develop.
Yes. The idea of having more roads, bigger bridges, new roads, everyone asks me as a citizen, what can I get out of it? What can the new roads and bridges add to the economy, in your opinion?
Okay, whether you're going to west of Cairo or to east of Cairo, from here, from this magnificent building, Maspero here, the Egyptian television building, even if you're going to the east, towards Tagamma or towards the new capital. When we used to go through the El Saura Strait and going to Tagamma, about a year and a half ago, it was only two lanes each way. Okay, they're going to expand it. Became 3 lanes. Okay, becoming 4 lanes. Now it's 8 lanes. It's going to be 12 lanes each direction. You tell me what's that? You can go from the airport, Cairo airport, through this highway to downtown, 20 minutes. In my lifetime, this was never happened, and we cannot even imagine that this is going to happen. What does this mean? You save time. Time's going to be turning to production. Where are you? And we're not talking about a small town or small city. We're talking about a town, a place where we have about 10 to 12 million people living. Could you imagine the power of how many hours are we saving by these bridges and roads to being done this way? It's saving billions of dollars each year. But it needs to be calculated, and all these investments are being already being paid off.
On the other hand, the main idea of having new roads and bridges, it could be encouraging the idea of going out, as you mentioned, of the Nile Valley, and to be encouraging the development of the nearby cities, the nearby areas, even the desert.
That's true. And this is actually what's happening. I was a couple of days ago, or 2 weeks ago, there was the Smart City Expo. I was there and seeing what's going on, and I was surprised to find companies, their headquarters are no longer in Greater Cairo or Alexandria. Their headquarters are in Hurghada. I said, what? Hurghada? And you're taking bids and building here and supplying and doing? He said, yes, it's less hectic. It's about 3.5 hours going. We can go by the 5 or 6 o'clock plane in the morning and coming back with the 7 o'clock plane in the evening. I said, wow. It is almost like when I'm in the States going, say, okay, I'm going to DC, Washington, DC. I'm going to take the plane from Newark or from JFK.
Domestic flights.
Yes, it's 45 minutes. And you're going to be in Washington, D.C. and do whatever you want and go back. So Hurghada and Cairo is becoming almost the same way. So this is just an example to answer your question. Not only these people who left Cairo and opened the business in Hurghada and having about 100, 200, 300 employees, what they are doing to the local economy in Hurghada. So Hurghada by itself is turning away from becoming only for tourism. It's becoming a haven for the business to be less stress, better environment, much more greener way of living. If you want to go to Cairo, you can exchange all the bids and all the documents online with the great infrastructure that's being done. Then if you want to go to Cairo to a meeting, either you can drive or you can take the plane and come back. This way of life was not there 5 years ago. Are you crazy?
The mindset, the culture itself.
That's the mindset. The culture is not there. The maximum you can say, oh, I'm going to be in Heliopolis, so I can go to downtown. No, there is no more Heliopolis.
It used to be Cairo-centric. Or in Alexandria.
Or Alexandria.
I can't leave it.
You cannot leave it. You've been in Alexandria. Oh, if you're going to be in Smoha, that's the maximum you want to be in Smoha. But you want to go in Borg Al Arab? Oh, no. Now with the highway to Borg Al Arab is 35 minutes. What's this? The airport now is in Borg Al Arab. And now, yesterday I just heard about that the governor of Alexandria announced a complete makeover for the town of, for the city, great city of Alexandria. What's that? So
even the underground would be there.
Yeah, the underground, the monorail, the train, whatever you want, a hovercraft even for Alexandria, anything in Alexandria can be done. But what I'm trying to say is the way of life, as you just said, that it was not there. So completely, it is a completely different era we're coming. And if this happening in the big cities, definitely you will find somebody from Tanta is going to wherever. People from Sharqiya or from Sharqiya will, okay, we're going to go to 10th of Ramadan or to the new cities. People from Cairo, right now they have multiple places to go. People from Upper Egypt, from Minya, they have New Minya, people, and the incentives to do business in Upper Egypt, you have from Beni Suef, Minya, till up to Aswan and the New Valley, free land with all the infrastructure done, but go and build over there. So with this all new highways and this ease, if you are from Upper Egypt, okay, I'll go take a piece of land over there, which is free, and instead of paying 5 million, 10 million, 30 million piece of land in Badr city, 30 million to a piece of land to make a factory. Why? Go and take it in Minya, go and take it in Beni Suef, and you take it free. You're saving from the first thing 30 million, and build your factory, do whatever, you have the network, go. Most importantly, I want to highlight what Dr. Hal Said said in the Paris Peace Forum, where she entered that all of this at the end has to be, all of this is creating small and mid-sized enterprises which can help sustain the underserved communities. This is very important. In this 4,500 new villages, which is the decent life, or Haya Karima, the people over there can start to feel that there is hope. They can be microfinanced, they can be mid-financed, and they can grow within. This is the most important thing for our national security. Forget about anything. This is the most important thing. The underserved people in this 4,500 with the microfinance, find them jobs and to create income to themselves and for a better life. So that is the real reform.
Yes, and more importantly, this is the topic for the second report of the Daily Debate for tonight, the SMEs, the investing in different fields in about thousands of projects at the same time in the new Republic of Egypt, all in the upcoming report, so let's see it.
Egypt will be transformed by 2024 into one of the major global hubs for transport and logistics through a massive 10-year plan to modernize its transport infrastructure. Minister of Transport Kamel El Wazir said earlier last week that the transportation system established in the country will contribute significantly to achieving sustainable development and changing the face of life throughout Egypt. He explained that the 10-year plan implemented from 2014 to 2024 was drawn up to modernize the transport and communication sectors at an expected cost of 1.669 trillion Egyptian pounds. Over the past 7 years, El Wazir said projects worth 1.295 trillion Egyptian pounds have already been implemented, noting that a number of large projects will be completed by the end of this year, while other projects such as the light rail train will be finalized by the end of 2022. The minister said that around 30,000 kilometers of new and developed roads will be completed by the end of 2024. With the completion of the transport and road system in 2024, Egypt will be turned into a regional and international hub for transport and logistics, the minister stressed, adding that there are also plans to link Egypt with other North African countries, including building a road that runs through Egypt, Libya, Chad and Niger. The minister extended an open invitation to all Egyptian and foreign investors to manage and operate railways across the country, as well as participate in all the ministry's projects covering various fields.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate. Mr. Khalid Abu Haib speaking about 16,000 projects all being implemented at the same time in different parts of the Republic, the Egyptian Republic. How do you see the importance of economic reform, development, and balancing between them?
It's a very interesting question. And it is a bit of a challenge for this to happen. But for us here, there is no way out for us except going that route. 16,000 projects going at the same time, developing 4,500 villages and cities and towns across Egypt all in one time. 7,000 kilometers of road are being done. 10,000 kilometers of railroads are being implemented or being refurbished. It is, what can I tell you? It is the most beautiful thing you can think about. And it's a challenge which the Egyptians are ready to take it, and they are taking it. And the Egyptians by themselves love challenges. And when the whole world and all the books and all the theories said we cannot do it, and guess what? We did it. So they love this kind of challenges. And definitely we're gonna pass and succeed. This coming 24 months, after 24 months, 2024, it's gonna be completely new Egypt, completely new era. And I'm glad and happy that during my lifetime I witnessed this happening, because it was a dream. It was a pain for our generation growing up. It was a dream for them. Now we're seeing it happening. Wishing all the Egyptians all the best, wishing the new generations all the best. Poverty is gonna go away. It's the same Egyptian person who go to any university overseas and excel. He is the same Egyptian who's playing soccer in a village, who's becoming the most famous soccer player in the world. He is the same bodybuilder who is from Tanta, Alexandria, from wherever he is, who went over there and became the champion. He just needs the environment and the sphere for him to excel. With this sphere right now is being done, and when this thing is being done right now, what do you expect the outcome? Is to excel. So I am so optimistic with what's going to happen, and that we are in the right direction, And it's only the good times just starting and coming.
We did see in the past 7 or 8 years that the political leadership is very interested in the economy, in development, in progress, but it is also interested in the safety of the citizens, of the health of the citizens. So speaking of the roads and bridges and the construction of new cities, in 2014, Egypt was among the worst 10 countries in the world in terms of accidents, traffic accidents. And now we are so much better, and we decreased those numbers of accidents. How do you see the importance of not just the economy, but the safety of the people, the well-being of the citizens as well? There is an interest in this and that at the same time.
You took that question off my tongue, because I was going to say it is very easy to build, and when you have the leisure to build and peace around you to build. But we were building on what's around. First of all, we had an epidemic for 2 years. Then we have our borders. From the west, we had what's happening in Libya for 7 or 8 years. On the east, what's going to in the Palestine territory in Palestine. I don't want to say territory, it's Palestine, in Palestine. And we in the south, what's happening in Sudan. And all of this, and we were building. Then when you look inside, and we're talking about all of these accidents, and we are starting making all this state of the art highways and transportation and logistics and building codes. I know that a big part 2 years ago of the capital, of the new capital, by the President Sisi, was ordered to be redone again. And it was about 1.4 billion, something like that. Why? Because it was not up to the standard of the
and as you
where
mentioned,
it is.
yes, we have a new republic, we have new standards, we have a new mindset, and we have a new culture. But unfortunately, we have run out of time. Mr. Khaled Abouhaid, the head of the International Cooperation Commission at the National Council for the Strategic Planning, thank you very much for being with us tonight.
It's been a pleasure.
Anytime.
Thank you.
And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.